Remember, I'm staying at your place and you're staying at Shelly's, and Shelly's supposed to be crashing with me tonight, Kitty. Mix any of this up and we're dead.
Oh, please. Like this is the first all-nighter I've ever pulled.
I know what you're up to, you know.
What are you talking about, Mom?
The fact that this fictitious little sleepover at Shelley's just happens to coincide with David Fisher's parents visiting his grandmother in Florida? I wasn't born yesterday, Kitty Pryde. Try not to forget that it wasn't a million years ago. I was 14 myself.
So what are you saying? That I'm a liar now? Call Shelley's parents and check if you like, but you're only going to look like some crazy, neurotic mom.
Actually, I've already called, and she's not going to the party anymore either, Kitty. In fact, her dad said she's grounded for a month.
Oh, great. That's just fabulous. It's not enough that I'm the only girl in school missing this thing. Now you have to go and ruin it for my friends, too? Thanks a lot, Mom. Nice job. When are you going to realize I'm not 4 years old anymore?
As soon as you start acting like it, sweetheart. Spaghetti and meatballs have been on the table half an hour, by the way. I'd give it a couple minutes in the microwave.
Meatballs? She knows full well I'm not eating meatballs. Been a vegetarian for a month and a half, for God's sake. Oh, no! Mom! Help me!
Ah! Get out of my house, you little pervert! Get out of my house before I dial 911 or something!
Whoa! I'm really sorry about this, Mrs. Winterbottom. I'm really, really sorry, and I promise not to breathe a word of this to Mr. Winterbottom. Huh?
Holy crap! That kid just walked through a wall?
Don't be such a doofus, Zach. Spider-Man's the one who walks through walls.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Please! Just get out of my way! Huh?
Watch out, you stupid little...
Oh my God! I think I'm going to puke!
Get off the freaking road, you idiot!
What?
Get off the freaking road! No! Say what?
Grab my hand, please! I'm slipping through the floor again. I need something solid to hold on to for a second.
Get away from me, you freak!
Somebody hold my hand! Oh! Oh God, where's my phone? Please don't let me have lost my stupid phone now, too. Mom, it's me. I'm in a sewer under Burns and Yellowstone. Could you come by and pick me up, please? It happened again.
So you're the telepathic one, right?
Telepathic enough to know you don't believe in mind reading, Mrs. Pride.
Is it true you were the first student at the school?
No, the professor saved Cyclops from a lynch mob 1 full week before he checked me out of the Psychiatric Institute, ma'am. Cyclops being the boy in the jet with the nice brown hair, incidentally.
Oh my God!
Didn't want to pass without saying hello, honey bunny.
That's a beautiful thought, Scott, but you're in detention for a month if the professor catches you in breach of all these major road violations, Mr. Summers.
You know your trouble, baby? You worry too much.
I still can't believe how much that guy's loosened up since he ditched his Xbox for a girlfriend.
Excuse the hologram, Mrs. Pride, but hiding the school behind a three-dimensional construct is one of our 8 main security features. I know this all looks a little paranoid, but believe me, if it wasn't for the Japanese camouflage technology, some lunatic would have burned us to the ground by now.
Are you talking in my head?
Forgive me, Mrs. Pride. I hardly ever use my voice these days and forget how unsettling this can be to someone unfamiliar with telepathy. I'm Charles Xavier, and I take it this delightful young lady is the Kitty Pryde I've heard so much about.
Say hello, Kitty. Go on. Shake the professor's hand.
Don't worry, Kitty. I know you're scared. I can also tell you from here that your suspicions are correct and you're indeed a mutant. But we're really not as frightening as the newspapers say. Your gifts might be unpredictable and dangerous at the moment, but in time I can train you to use them safely and responsibly.
Don't worry about shielding your thoughts either, Kitty. Complete filth is always the first thing that pops in your mind when you know it's being read. It's really nothing we haven't heard before.
Would you like Jean to give you a look around the school to see the kind of things we're doing here, Kitty? Just to see what you think of the place.
Sure. Why not?
Excellent. That means your mother and I can have a nice little chat in my private office.
So, how did you get to meet the professor?
Like I said in the car, he found me in a mental ward and taught me how to get a grip on the hormones and the extrasensory perceptions that put me there.
And you've been okay ever since?
Well, apart from the occasional migraine or the subconscious telekinesis shifting my bedroom furniture around while I'm sleeping, just try to remember that none of us were able to control our mutant abilities when we first got here, Kitty. Even that perfect boyfriend of mine couldn't open his eyes without blasting everything in sight until the professor designed a special ruby quartz visor for him to see through. As for Storm, when she signed up, she was hitting things with lightning bolts every time she sneezed.
Wow, you get flying lessons here too?
Oh, you learn to fly, drive, jet ski, and deactivate nuclear bombs, Kitty. But Cyclops and Storm are just back from an undercover op in San Francisco. Believe it or not, they were posing as high school students to investigate the disappearance of a 13-year-old mutant boy up by Pacific Heights. Colossus and Wolverine over there are just home from a joint effort with the NYPD to bust an illegal street drug derivative of some poor telepath's cranial fluid. Judging by the bright, happy aura around Peter at the moment, I'd hazard a guess that it all went pretty well, too.
Are you nuts? Wolverine's been shot to pieces.
Oh, do not worry about these little bullet holes, my friend. His healing factor has already restored all his major organs, and he should be fighting fit again by the time we are scheduled for our Danger Room exercises.
Danger Room?
Our training arena, Kitty. Just imagine your old high school gym rigged up with every death trap you can think of, and you're pretty much halfway there. We used to use a virtual reality version, but the program kept crashing. I think the tangible one works better anyway.
Who's in here? Another cute guy?
Oh, that's our resident genius. I'd introduce you to him, but Beast isn't really very sociable at the moment. He just broke up with Storm a few weeks back. And between you and me, I think all this fuss with Iceman leaving has been getting him down a little, too.
Iceman has had 6 operations in the last 12 weeks. Iceman has steel pins in his legs where 2 healthy bones used to be. Iceman is going to be on painkillers and antidepressants for the rest of his life. And you're asking me if his parents are suing for wrongful neglect? My boy, they're suing Charles Xavier and the X-Men for $50 million. And they've asked me to lobby to have this secret cult of theirs closed down. I don't care if the X-Men pledge to protect humanity, or if their friends in the Brotherhood of Mutants have promised some kind of temporary ceasefire. These mutants are using our cities as playgrounds, and we only have to ask the dead in Paris, or Rome, or Madrid, or Berlin to find out where that's going to lead us.
Private jets? Sports cars? Designer superhero costumes? Who pays for all this stuff, Jean?
To tell you the truth, nobody's really sure. We know the school's sponsored by a consortium of anonymous billionaires, but the professor's always very coy about the details. You can't really blame them for keeping quiet either. Any sign of sympathy for the mutant cause, and you'd be out of business in a week.
The Danger Room.
I hate doing these workouts when Cyclops is filling in for Chuck. I bet that snotty little punk really gets off on seeing me jump through all these hoops for him.
Oh, lighten up, Wolverine. You had your chance with Genie and you failed. Let Cyclops have a try. He is a good guy with outstanding chiseled cheekbones.
You don't get it, Petey. Genie and I had been doing this little dance for a while, pretending we weren't interested in flirting with other people, but we always knew the score.
Please do not hit me with one of those lame conspiracy theories about how Xavier is brainwashing us like he brainwashed Magneto. If that was the case, would Cyclops have left to join the Brotherhood of Mutants? Would I have ever run home to Russia in search of a normal life?
Yeah, but you all came running back, bub. Don't forget that part of the story.
What's wrong, Mrs. Pride? You seem a little hesitant about letting Kitty study here. Has my school failed to meet your expectations in some way?
No, not at all. I'm actually very impressed with the place, Professor. Not least because a syllabus built around mutation means Kitty won't get any of that creationist nonsense. It's just this preoccupation with violence everyone seems to have around here. It just seems weird coming from a man who's always preaching about post-human pacifism.
We live in a very violent world, Mrs. Pride, especially when you exhibit some degree of uniqueness. I've always found that teaching children how to defend themselves is just as important as teaching them Macbeth or the formula for quadratic equations.
I know what you're saying, and I appreciate that nobody's better qualified to help Kitty with her condition. But, well, this Xmen thing that's been all over the papers lately, and the fact that his parents are suing you for forcing him to fight your mutant son back in Germany. God, how can I put this without sounding selfish? I don't want Kitty doing anything dangerous. I just want you to teach her how to control this intangibility thing and get everything back to normal again.
I'm afraid you're deluding yourself, Mrs. Pride. Your daughter is X-Factor positive, and that's about as far from normal as the human species can get at the moment.
I don't care. My only concern is Kitty right now, and I don't want to call in the middle of the night saying she's been blown up fighting terrorists in Addis Ababa. I love the idea of some 21st century school that doesn't train kids to be wage slaves and corporate robots. But I'm only leaving Kitty in your care if you promise me she's never going on one of those insane superhero missions you use to promote your mutant agenda.
Actually, my mutant agenda is to provide an alternative to the current education system and the unfair society we have to deal with at the moment, Mrs. Pride. My dream is to have these walls brimming with mutants and my schools situated in every town and city in the world. Perhaps then mutants like your daughter won't have to hide their gifts and pretend to be normal.
Look, just promise me you aren't going to give her a silly name and make her fight the latest lunatic who wants to blow up the Statue of Liberty or anything, Professor.
Of course, I must respect your wishes, but I think you're making a terrible mistake here, Mrs. Pride.
Outside.
Kitty, what happened?
I drifted off for a second and phased through the back of this stupid car. Where the heck did we get all this snow from, anyway?
Oops, meant to clean that up after power practice.
Well, it looks like we have a bright new student starting first thing in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think, Jean? Was she as excited about our 24-hour learning program and 250,000 subjects as she seemed to be?
Actually, I think she was a little more excited about our voluntary classwork initiative and Colossus in his tight white t-shirt, sir. That said, it's always nice to have an extra pair of hands to help with the washing up.
Professor? Oh no! Oh no, 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 no! I'm not looking around! I'm not looking around! Professor!
Oh my god, she's having some kind of seizure!
Hold her down and make sure she doesn't bite through her tongue, Cyclops. I'm telekinetically adjusting her acetylcholine and dopamine levels.
The visions are back, Professor! The mind blocks aren't working anymore! The visions are back!
Get out of my house, you little pervert! Get out of my house before I dial 911 or something!
Whoa! I'm really sorry about this, Mrs. Winterbottom. I'm really, really sorry, and I promise not to breathe a word of this to Mr. Winterbottom. Huh?
Holy crap! That kid just walked through a wall?
Start acting like it, sweetheart. Spaghetti and meatballs have been on the table half an hour, by the way. I'd give it a couple minutes in the microwave.
Meatballs? She knows full well I'm not eating meatballs. Been a vegetarian for a month and a half, for God's sake. Oh no! Mom! Help me!
Remember, I'm staying at your place and you're staying at Shelly's, and Shelly's supposed to be crashing with me tonight, Kitty. Mix any of this up and we're dead.
Oh, please. Like this is the first all-nighter I've ever pulled.
I know what you're up to, you know.
What are you talking about, Mom?
The fact that this fictitious little sleepover at Shelly's just happens to coincide, and she's not going to the party anymore either, Kitty. In fact, her dad said she's grounded for a month.
Oh, great. That's just fabulous. It's not enough that I'm the only girl in school missing this thing. Now you have to go and ruin it for my friends, too? Thanks a lot, Mom. Nice job. When are you going to realize I'm not 4 years old anymore?
As soon as you side with David Fisher's parents visiting his grandmother in Florida, I wasn't born yesterday, Kitty Pride. Try not to forget that it wasn't a million years ago. I was 14 myself.
So what are you saying? That I'm a liar now? Call Shelly's parents and check if you like, but you're only going to look like some crazy neurotic mom.
Actually, I've already called.